Have you heard about the term leaky gut, but you're not quite sure what it means or what causes it? Or do you think that you might be experiencing a leaky gut but aren't sure? If so, then this video is for you because I'm going to explain all about what causes a leaky gut and what it is. But before I get into that explanation, I invite you to hit the bell icon so that you are notified every week when I post a new video about how to heal your gut, how to live with a strong and healthy gut, and how to show your body, your mind, and your gut some love so that you can live with your best health ever. Now this video is for you if you want to understand what causes leaky gut and if it might be affecting you. Now, if you're experiencing symptoms such as breakouts on your skin, acne, eczema, or bloating and constipation, gas, if you're experiencing anxiety or depression, or if you constantly feel run down, you feel like you attract every single bug and illness that is around you, then your gut may be experiencing some unhappiness. And it might benefit from some healing. So by the end of this video, you will understand how leaky gut affects your health, you'll understand how it develops, and how to heal leaky gut, and why it's something you want to heal if you are experiencing it. Now, I love to hear from my viewers, so please comment below and let me know why you're tuning into this video. Is it because you have just heard about leaky gut and you want to know more about it? Or do you think that you may be experiencing leaky gut and want to learn more? Let me know in the comments below. And if you experience acne, you're going to want to make sure that you check out my videos where I describe all about acne and how to heal it, what are the best and worst foods for acne, and what are the supplements that you're going to be wanting to checking out if you have acne. The links are posted below, so go check them out. Okay, first things first. Before I get into describing what is leaky gut, let's start with an understanding of what the gut lining is and how the gut works. Now, our gut lining is made up of a barrier that keeps out harmful microbes, harmful parasites, harmful bugs, harmful bacteria that get into our body when we may ingest them through food or take them in from our environment. And what our gut layer does is it makes sure that these things that may be harmful if they got through do not get into our general circulation, but instead it only lets through things like nutrients which are intended to get in and provide us with the energy and nutrition we need to stay healthy. But the thing is this gut layer is only 1 millimeter thick, so it's not very thick, and this means that it is unfortunately vulnerable to damage. Okay, so what is happening in the small intestine? Well, the small intestine is where the body converts partially digested food particles into those key nutrients that our body then wants to absorb and that then provide energy for our brain cells, for our muscles, and for all the cells throughout our body. So when food passes from our stomach into our small intestine, it passes through in this form of partially digested food particles. And then our intestine gets to work mashing it up more, breaking it up more, so those nutrients get loose. And it's these nutrients that then pass through the small intestine and into our general circulation where they do their good work. Now, the small intestine is lined with these small finger-like projections called villi. And these make it look kind of like a shag carpet. So think back to those 70s shag carpets, and that is what our small intestine looks on the inside. And it is through these small finger-like projections that the nutrients pass and get into our bloodstream. And that is how we get the nutrients to pass from our food into our body. Now, in order for our body to be properly nourished, to be getting the energy that we need for the food, from our food, and for nutrient assimilation to happen properly, it's critical that our small intestine is working properly. But what happens is that these villi are prone to becoming damaged. And when they become damaged, they start to flatten a little bit. It's like somebody's taken a fire hose and sprayed them with water, and they start to flatten down as they get inflamed. And when this happens, a couple things occur. First, the nutrients are not able to be absorbed as well, and so we're not getting and absorbing all the nutrients from our food. And secondly, as these villi flatten down, they also start to create spaces between them. And as that happens, this creates the opportunity for all sorts of opportunistic pathogens, bacteria, parasites, even partially digested food particles to get through those villi and now get into general circulation, where they can start causing all sorts of havoc. Now, our body is a bit of like a fortress, and our intestinal lining is the first line of defenses. They form a strong barrier there, and as long as they're working properly, then those pathogens and bacteria and microbes that we are ingesting and absorbing through our environment have no way to get in. They can knock on the door as much as they want, but they are getting nowhere. But if the defenses have started to weaken, and they have started, maybe they're starting to take a nap, they're starting to fall down and weaken, then at this point the pathogens and the microbes and the yeast, they are very opportunistic, and they are finding those opportunities to get into their circulation so that they can have an effect on our body, on your body. And this is when the secondary line of defenses comes in, which I'll describe in a moment. But when that first line of defenses is beaten down, this is at the point when you can start to experience all sorts of reactions. So you might start to see breakouts on your skin as acne or as eczema. You might start to feel those moments where you're just not able to concentrate as well. You're having trouble remembering things. It feels like you're in a bit of a brain fog. Or maybe you're experiencing headaches. There's just something going on in your brain where you're like, this is not working properly. That may be occurring. You may be experiencing bloating and gas and just some uncomfortable sensations in your belly. Or you may start to pick up and experience a lot of illnesses and sicknesses. Somebody gets a cold in your office, you get sick. Your child is exposed to something at daycare or at school, you get sick. You forget to wash your hands one day after coming home from the store, you get sick. If you're constantly getting beaten down by every single illness that you come into contact with, then that means that there's something going on in your gut that needs some supporting. Another thing that can happen when your body is getting into a state of inflammation and your body is not absorbing nutrients as well is that it can lead to overeating, and it can lead to crazy cravings for starches and sugars. And this is because of two reasons. One is if your body is not properly absorbing the nutrition from your food, then it can give you signals to keep eating. Even if it doesn't need more calories, it's begging for more nutrition, and so you get these signals to want to eat and eat and eat, and that can lead to overeating and weight gain. And you can also start experiencing cravings for sugars and starches because those yeasts can start overgrowing, and the yeast feed on sugar and starches. So they're going to give you signals to eat more of that to feed their population and grow and grow and grow and grow. And when this happens, then it can lead to the bacterial balance within your small intestine to get out of whack. And when the bacterial balance in your gut gets out of whack, then this exacerbates inflammation, and it can really create a wonderful ground for more inflammation to occur and more opportunistic bad guys to come in and start creating all sorts of havoc in your body. And finally, what also can happen is it can cause your blood sugar regulation to get out of whack. And when this happens, it sets the stage for things like developing type 2 diabetes because your blood sugar is not being regulated in the optimal way. So how does your gut lining get damaged to begin with? And there are a number of causes. The first one is antibiotics. Whether you've had one round of antibiotics or numerous rounds of antibiotics, these can set the stage for inflammation and start breaking down that gut lining that lets in all sorts of things into our general circulation that are not supposed to be getting in. Another is repeated doses of things like Tylenol and ibuprofen. Now, if you take this occasionally, it's not to worry. But if you're taking this on a consistent basis, on like a weekly basis or on a regular basis, then it is creating inflammation within your gut, and that can set the stage for leaky gut as well. Now, the other thing that can do it is things that you ingest through your food. So there are things like sugar and wheat and gluten that aggravate our guts. And for most people, When we have them over and over and over again, then it can start to slowly break down that intestinal lining and start expanding those spaces between the villi, which lets through all sorts of other things and sets the stage for that general inflammation to occur. Now, another thing that can set the stage for this is absorbing chemicals through our environment. And this can be environmental exposures in the air or through cleaning products or other sorts of products that you are come into contact with. Well, inflammation is one of the things that starts occurring because what's happening is all sorts of things are getting into the general circulation that our body sees as foreign invaders. And when these things start to get in, the body's like, whoa, what is going on? And this is when that secondary line of defenses comes into play. This is like you've set off a fire in your body and the firefighters are now coming with their hoses and they are trying to beat down that fire so that it goes away. And part of the way they do that is they will try and encapsulate those foreign invaders so they can get rid of them. And what they do is they create a memory for these foreign invaders. So this is the process of creating antibodies. And they create a memory and they're like, hey, whenever this guy comes in again, we are treating that like a bad guy and we are getting rid of it even faster. And so it sets off alarms when this type of pathogen or even an undigested food particle gets through. It sets off all sorts of alarms in our body and it's like, whoa, let's get this thing out of here. It's not supposed to be in this part of our body. And this is how food sensitivities develop. Because if that gut lining has been weakened, it's fallen down, and partially digested food particles kind of start to amble through, they're just kind of checking things out. They're like, whoa, I've never seen this wall down before. Let's see what's on the other side. They're not necessarily trying to cause harm, but just of coming through, those defenses, they don't know any different. They think anything that comes through is a bad guy, and they go on attack mode. So they see that partially digested piece of wheat or partially digested milk protein and they see it as a bad guy and they then go into full attack mode to get rid of it. And the next time it comes through, they are going on a heightened attack because they're like, whoa, this guy's coming in again. They are trying to knock us down. And if you're constantly eating these food particles that our body has deemed as foreign invaders that have to be gotten rid of, then you're constantly creating inflammation in your body over and over and over again every time that you eat these food products, and it's creating an overall state of inflammation in your body all the time. So if you have a leaky gut, it is like the bridge to your fortress is down and it is inviting anybody who passes by to come on over to the other side. And at this point, you will get those undigested food particles and a lot of those bad guys coming over to the other side, even though your body really doesn't want them there. Now, how do you know if you may be experiencing a leaky gut? Well, you may be experiencing symptoms such as skin conditions like acne and eczema, rosacea. You may be experiencing head disturbances like those headaches or trouble concentrating or memory difficulties that I talked about. You may also be experiencing cravings for starches and sugars, or you may be having those poor immune system reactions where you feel like you are constantly getting sick. You may be experiencing joint pain or anxiety or depression, and you may be experiencing digestive disturbances like bloating, gas, indigestion, or constipation. If you are experiencing any of these, then taking a good hard look at what's going on in your gut is a good idea. So if you think that you have a leaky gut, what do you do? Well, there's a few key steps. First is you need to stop eating any offending foods that are irritating the gut. You may know what these offending foods are. You may know that every time you eat dairy, you have a piece of cheese, or maybe you have some sugar or some wheat, you have a reaction. But sometimes it can be a bit more difficult to tie those things together. And at that point, if you're having trouble tying those links together, you can do two things. You can try going on a food elimination diet where you eliminate the most common allergenic and irritating foods for a period of time and then you've reintroduced them to test for any reactions, or you can work directly with a healthcare professional who can help you guide you through this process. Now, that is step number 1, is getting rid of those aggravating foods. Step number 2 is, once you've eliminated those aggravating foods, is you need to start healing your gut. And this is where you want to start adding in healing foods that support gut healing. You want to be adding in healing herbs and supplements. And I have a video all about how to go on a food elimination diet and how to eat when you're on a food elimination diet and it feels like there's nothing to eat. I also have a video about the best supplements for anyone experiencing acne. And even if you're not experiencing acne, if you are trying to heal your gut, then many of those same supplements that I recommend for individuals experiencing acne are likely helpful for you. So the links to those 2 videos are posted below as well. And the final thing you want to be doing is reducing your stress, because we cannot heal in a state of stress. Being and feeling stress on a constant basis is antithetical to healing. So if you want to heal your gut, then it's really important to also incorporate stress reduction exercises on a regular basis. So now you know what a leaky gut is, how it develops, and how to start healing it. And if you want to get a copy, a written out copy explanation of all of this, then click on the link below and I will send one to you. I'd be happy to do that. Now, before you go, make sure you like this video. If you have found it helpful, please share it with anybody who you think could benefit from it, and comment below and let me know what you most enjoyed about this video and what you were excited to do next. What is the next action step that you are looking forward to doing? And finally, I just wanted to let you know about a Facebook community that I have that is composed of a number of individuals going through their own healing journeys. And this is a great place to make connections, to ask your questions, to get more resources about how to live healthy and how to heal your gut and live with a strong gut, a strong mind, and a strong body. The link is below. I would love to see you there, so I welcome you joining that community. Until next time, talk next week. Bye-bye.